What's going on, guys? Welcome back to 100% Chelsea and welcome to your match build-up show for Chelsea versus Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League. An 8 o'clock kickoff today, funnily enough.
Tomorrow.
Well, no, it's today because we're recording it tomorrow.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We're recording it for when it would be tomorrow,
Yes.
but it's today. No, you know what's going to make it confusing. Basically, it is on the 27th. It's currently the 26th as of recording, because we're trying to be a lot more organised than we used to be. And based on other stuff, yeah, we're just going to get that done for you. But listen, we are going to go through our thoughts on the game. Unfortunately, there's only two of us today. We couldn't get a third man. However, you like the concept. There's a little bit more that needs to be done. We're currently using phones as microphones, but don't you worry. We're going to be getting the lapel mic soon. We're going to be getting the multiplying and stuff, and we need to stop shaking your leg. And on top of that, we're going to be going through all this stuff. Obviously, it's me. Obviously, it's Scotty P. So let's get straight into it. Tottenham versus Chelsea. Chelsea versus Tottenham, actually, in the Premier League. 8 o'clock kickoff on the 27th. Let's get to the pressing matter in Sarri's press conference, which was his comments on Kepa.
Yes.
So do you want to let everybody know what was going on there?
So I saw, first of all, I didn't read the press conference till earlier. I saw that comments were made from Sarri along the lines of there is a I think on the BBC they reported that he said there's a possibility that he might not play. Mm-hmm. It came across as a lot more of he probably won't play, but seeing his comments, it's kind of a 50-50. So he said that when someone asked him will he start tomorrow, he said maybe yes, maybe not. It'll be a decision for the group, for all the players. I have to decide for my group. I want to send a message to my group. The message could be to be on the pitch or out of the pitch. I have to decide what is better for my group. He made a mistake, a big mistake. There are some consequences. If the consequences is he plays, he has to be ready. If the consequence is he's on the bench, he has to be ready to go on the bench. And I think that's probably the tact that you can take in this situation.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think everyone's established that from the get-go.
Yeah.
He's either going to be dropped or he's not. So that's not really been anything majorly enlightening based on what happened at the weekend. Do you know what annoys me about this though is the fact that everyone's still talking about this rather than talking about how good Chelsea were.
Yeah.
And that's disappointing.
I think after, obviously, Kepa was fined today, a week's wages, which is going to charity, which is good. I think after the game tomorrow, it should just be over and done with, forgotten about, not spoken about again. Unless it happens again, which if it does, then...
Well, that's an issue. If it happens again, then he should be sorry.
Yeah, but after the game tomorrow, I think it should just be forgotten about, done, move on.
Game today?
Yeah.
And tomorrow today?
Today.
Yeah. Sorry if everyone's really confused. Scott's, he's not in the best of ways. It's alright, don't worry about it, mate.
It's sweet.
Alright, don't worry, we're here for you, okay? But look, I mean, for me personally, I think Kepa's situation is... I like how it's all being donated to charity. It's been donated to the Chelsea Foundation, for those of you that don't know. Kepa's also come out and commented post-game, as has Maurizio Sarri, obviously, in his press conference today. Kepa's comments we briefly glazed over in our video regarding this whole situation, so we don't really need to go into much more detail on it again. So if you want to see that, there's going to be a thing up here, or it might be on the side.
It's that side.
It is going to be that side.
Is it a little eye thing? If it's
little
eye thing, it's that side.
It'll be that side. So obviously, leave us your thoughts. Kepa, yes or no, should he be dropped ahead of this game against Tottenham? For me personally, I feel that it's tough because I want to win games. That's my big thing. Yeah. I think that's more important to me than, especially with the run of results that we're potentially going to be getting, what we need, to be honest, to proceed into the top four, which we're going to touch on later as well. I think that it's really important that we try and play our best players. Obviously, there's a lot of player power at Chelsea. Maybe this time, rather than combat it this year, try and lean into it, try and get those results. Obviously, situations like Kepa's are that it's bad. I mean, that was shocking. So it's kind of a case of, you've got to be there to not take the piss. Everyone's got to kind of work as a team.
Yeah.
But it was mental. I don't understand what was going through his mind at that time.
I think I can understand, but I think so from at least what I'd be thinking in that situation would be I want to be the hero, or not that I want to be the hero, but I want to do my bit for the team in that cup final. But I think the problem is he went about that in a poor way.
Yeah.
I think his intentions were good, but the way he carried out was poor.
Yeah, I think that pretty much puts the nail on the head. I think one other person for us to talk about in terms of that is Azpilicueta. and how he handled the situation as well. It was disappointing, to say the least. We put a tweet out, I did, on my personal, yesterday, well, 2 days ago. See, Scott's confusing me now, but I put a tweet out a couple of days ago with regards to the situation to do with Azpilicueta, and obviously what his role was to play in the whole situation with Keith. And the response was something which was a little bit interesting. So I put, there's a lot of talk about Azpilicueta and the captaincy, and there's no doubt it's warranted. How there's no doubt Dave is a leader. He should have handled Kepa better, but Dave is a leader by example, not a get in your face type. What do you what and why, or who? Sorry, who, what, why, where, who? Who do you think should be the next captain? Now I put forward 4 options, the most highly talked about ones: Azpilicueta, David Luiz, Rudiger, and Eden Hazard. Azpilicueta got the lowest amount of votes. This is from 2,258 votes. He got 18%. In third was David Luiz with 23. Hazard came in second with 24. And we'll talk about that in a minute, because obviously, yesterday there was some clips of Eden Hazard that came out from 11 Sports. Was
this the end of the
shootout?
Yeah, I saw these.
And there was a lot of people talking about him being a potential captain in that situation. But Rudiger runs out as the leader in terms of who should be getting the captaincy with 35%. So I mean, it's not a landslide, but it's pretty telling as to why people think, who people think should be. So there's lots of people there was a bit of a debate between Goldberg and CFC PYS about Hazard, which we won't get into. If you want to look at it, go read the poll. So my Twitter is @Louis_Beneventi. I was quite proud of that. It was quite good. What's your Twitter, Scott?
It's it's confusing as fuck. It's @Scotty_P_1. I can't change it. I don't know how.
Yet? Well, you need to figure it out.
Someone could help me in the comments.
Listen, Scott, I've tried to help you, but you don't help yourself.
I would accept your help. I don't know how to change it.
You don't accept my help. No one accepts my help anymore. No one loves me. It hurts. Everybody hurts. But let's get back into the comments. Rapping Yogi comes in and says, Azpilicueta is fine as a captain. He also didn't want to make a scene even worse, which I think is a very warranted point in terms of the Kepa situation.
Yeah.
I think that the way that he... I said he's a leader by example. Obviously, he said he was on the other side of the pitch, which I mean, if he's at like the other end of the pitch, he's got no idea what's going on. Yeah. I think it kind of makes a little bit of sense as to why he didn't go marching over, because nobody knew what was going on. Even David Luiz was trying to take the mantle as a leader. To be honest, even they didn't know what was going on.
Also, people were, I have noticed, talking about this a little bit. This is not the first time this has happened in a league game. Would you like to know who the other person was that this happened to in a league game?
Oh, it was David Luiz at PSG, wasn't it?
2016.
I saw that clip earlier.
So I've seen people coming in on that and linking back to that, which is a fair point, to be fair.
Oh, it is
a fair point. For me personally, I think that there's no other option other than Rudiger. For me, I know obviously the Hazard stuff came out, but apart from that, he is very much in the same vein as Azpilicueta in terms of lead by example type.
Well, this is it, and this is
someone here I think has put it brilliantly in terms of David Luiz. Bertie Bowlcut says he's the most hot and cold personality in the dressing room, and I think that's quite telling, because yes, we do need that type that's going to kind of get in your face. It's going to get you rallied. But I think there can be such things too much. We've seen it in the past. We've seen it from Gerrard in his final season, I think, with Liverpool. Came on against Man United, a few minutes in, 2-foot Sandro Herrera gets sent off straight away.
That was funny.
We've seen it from Company this season. Went in on Salah, possibly. That if that goes a bit higher, that's a bit higher. That's a career-threatening injury. Same with Virgil van Dijk against Napoli. It's all well and good having that, but you need someone who's going to be level-headed about it. And I don't think David Luiz is that type of person. He's got that, but it's too much, if anything.
Well, and then it depends. He could have it on one day, then another day.
He could have Tottenham, funnily enough.
Exactly. He could have what he had against Tottenham in the reverse fixture. But I mean, obviously, for me, I think this is the first time where I look at Azpilicueta and I'm kind of sat there hearing people's comments with regards to it, and kind of just It annoys me.
Mm.
I think people are comparing his downturn to Ivanovic, but I think Ivanovic just in general just lost 200 million yards of pace in one summer. Aspilicueta has been put in a system out of position. He's not a right back, he is a centre half. Even though he started his career at Chelsea as a right back, you can tell he's lost that yard of pace.
To be fair, so Ivanovic, but the other way around, he started as a centre back, then adapted more to being a right back, and that's where he ended up playing for most of his career at us, I believe.
Yeah, well, because we had John Terry, Ricardo Carvalho, Alex, David Luiz.
Yep.
We had loads of other centre halves. Gary Cahill's reported as well. We had we had like 5 centre halves at one point.
Don't we have that now?
No, but like we. Oh yeah, we do.
Like 5 or 6.
Yeah. Why do we have 5 or 6 centre halves? I don't know.
And then we have like 3 wingers, 4 wingers.
Oh my god. Okay, well, we'll go to that. I mean, I think the comments, the people calling Aspilicueta a fraud. I mean, listen, Twitter is a great place. I love Twitter.
Yeah.
At the same time, it can be horrendous, and it can be one of the most toxic apps on the planet. To be honest, when I got kicked off of it in the summer because they thought I was under 13 years of age, you know about this, right?
No.
So I thought I hit 5k, and I always said when I hit 5k, I'd see if I could get verified. Obviously, it's a small amount, but I was there thinking, we got the channel, we got this stuff, may as well just keep it going, see what happens, because you have to apply for it. And if I didn't get it, I wasn't too fussed. If I did,
cool.
Yeah, I've got a blue tick next to my name. But it's kind of a case of, I went to apply, I put my age, my date of birth, I sent a picture, and she got set up. I said, we'll come back to you soon. Scrolling through Twitter for about 5 minutes, and the account just locked. I was like, okay, why is this happening? They're like, we believe you're under 13 years of age. So I went back to them and said, well, I'm not. Sent them an email saying, well, here's my driving licence, here's my passport, here's proof of address. And they went, yeah, that's not enough.
Okay.
So I was there a bit like, well, what else do you want? Not my national security number. I ain't giving. Do you want my PIN number while we're at it? It's a case of like, I don't know. So I just set up a new account, and I've nearly caught up what I was on. So yeah, happy days, guy me. A little bit of it, he's a G. But I mean, it's kind of a case of like, when I was off it, I missed it because there was a lot of tweets that were quite funny over the summer. But at the same time, I was kind of sat there going, it was nice to not have to deal with bullshit and see stuff on my timeline which just infuriated me, such as people calling Aspilicueta a fraud and calling him a donkey, despite him being one of the best defenders in the Premier League over the past 3 or 4 years.
I think people are quick to forget. I think it was in a way it's similar to Ivanovic in terms of, I think that last season Ivanovic had with us, where he was poor.
Yeah.
It took the shine off of his career to an extent in terms of what he did for us.
Well, this is it.
And I think it's a similar vein to Aspilicueta in terms of everyone forgets it's in a similar vein to the comments people making now. They seem to have forgotten what he did 2 years ago. 2 years ago, he was arguably, maybe comfortably, even though the two Tottenham centre backs had the best defence, he was the best centre back in the league. He was up the one of the 3 best centre backs in the league.
Yeah.
And you could make a case he was up there in the world.
Statistically last season, he was the best defender on the planet.
So yeah, I think that's why people are quick to forget stuff like that because of poor seasons.
Football fans are fickle, and I mean, I put myself in that category. When you bring up Ivanovic, or when I'm talking about Aspilicueta, people in the comments say, yeah, but you did that with Ivanovic, didn't you? So yeah, at that time I was 17 years old, and I'm 21. I have grown up a little bit since then and realised that Louis was a massive bellend, despite how much slimmer he was and how much better looking he was. He still wasn't fat. He still wasn't slim though. Still a fat bastard, but this one's much rounder, much cuddlier, much kinder. That's what I like to say. But yeah, is it me? Right? So we've got pieces of paper. I really feel like Ron Burgundy.
You're not funny enough to be Ron Burgundy.
Scott, listen, you're saying I'm not funny, yeah? Right. How the fuck do you think I get laid?
I didn't say you're not funny, I said you're not funny enough to be Ron Burgundy. There's a difference.
Hey everybody, come look how amazing I look. I love that film. I love Anchorman. Anchorman 1 or Anchorman 2?
I've never seen 2.
You've never seen number 2?
No. I've never seen number 1.
Oh. Number 2 is good. I like number 1 though. I think number 1's, obviously, the first one's always the best one. Anything. But, yeah, now you've lost my train of thought. What are we talking about? Ivanovic. Yeah. Ivanovic, I think, is kind of a case of he did take a tarnish. I don't think Aspilicueta has had it tarnished because the thing there was we had players that could replace other players. Whereas now I think people aren't so quick to judge because it's Davide Zappacosta as your right back replacement. And I think many people particularly
You could just cross the ball and that's about it.
Hey mate, listen, one of those crosses led to an amazing goal, right?
Yeah, and then the other 2 crosses I've seen led to 2 own goals.
Yeah, but listen, Davide he's a star man player on the right, okay? No, maybe.
No, it's not.
He's fairly average. But anyway, listen, leave us your thoughts on Aspilicueta. Who do you think should be the next Chelsea captain? Do you want to touch on anyone else quickly? Do you want to talk on why Hazard shouldn't be?
I just, as I said, like there are stuff you can point to, like the stuff yesterday, the fact he's Belgian vice captain, stuff like that. I feel that with Belgium it's a little bit different though because you've got a lot of personalities. You have a lot of big players with a lot of big personalities. You got the likes of De Bruyne. Obviously, Nigel is not there. Witsel, players like Carrasco to a lesser extent, Hazard, as I said, Lukaku, Mertens, Alderweireld, Vertonghen. You've got big personalities, so that kind of helps. But apart from that, I just feel he's a similar sort of player to Aspilicueta. The only other person I could see it being, just because the system we're in, but he's not the type of player that's going to get in your face, is Jorginho. If he was more that type of player, I think he would work.
You know you're going to get absolutely slaughtered.
I know, but let me explain. Let me explain before you go in the comments. Is that because of the system we're playing with Sarri, because of the role he has in that system.
Yeah.
If it basically, what I'm saying is, if you could combine Rudiger and Jorginho in personality, or Jorginho as the player he is with Rudiger's personality, it'd be perfect.
Yeah, but.
That's what I'm saying. If Jorginho had that personality where he's going to get in your face, he's going to mentally get you. Like an Ander Herrera.
Oh, mate, honestly, the fact that his contract's at the end of the season, he hasn't signed Man United.
Like him, then fair enough. Then you could make a case of him because of the role he has in the system. That's why.
Am I mad to say I like Ander Herrera at Chelsea?
No, because I like him as well.
I think I like a shithouse. It's like I liked Marouane Fellaini because of how much of a shithouse he was.
Are you saying you want Ashley Barnes?
Mate, listen, when it was tabled, it was better. When it was Ashley Barnes. Ashley Barnes on Crouch. I was going Ashley Barnes, mate. But I was still holding my head in despair, which was incredibly depressing. But I think it's kind of a case of like Rudiger for me. I think if you're going to go with what Chelsea have traditionally had over the past 15, 20 years, with your Graham Lassos, who was vice captain but captain sometimes, Dennis Wise, Marcel Desailly, John Terry, Ivanovic, Frank Lampard.
Yeah.
It's kind of a case of, these are players that are going to get... Stop shaking your leg!
Sorry.
These are players that would get in your face, and I understand why people want that, but you look at players like Aspilicueta and Hazard, they're going to be leading by example, they're not going to be getting in your face. And I think that kind of... I personally think that people would... Well, Chelsea would only give Hazard the captaincy to try and make him stay, and I think that's the wrong mentality to go.
Yeah.
Like to go, we'll give you the captaincy if you stay, because you've got the number 10 shirt already. No, I think it was tabled along with the...
No, not with Hazard, with another club. I'm sure that's happened before with another club.
Was it Mauro Icardi?
Possibly, I don't think so though.
I don't know.
I'm sure it happened before. No.
Well, if it's happened, it's happened. But look, for me, Aspilicueta is captain of Chelsea Football Club.
At least until the end of the season.
Yeah, deserves the respect he should be being given. Captain on the pitch was Gary Cahill. Should be getting more respect.
That's another issue
captain. That's another kettle of fish entirely. We'll move on from that. Obviously, leave your thoughts on who you think the captain should be down below.
Talking of fullbacks, though.
We're talking of fullbacks.
Yeah.
Nice segue. I like that. Go on, take it away. Go on.
So I also made comments on Alonso and Emerson in his press conference. I'd hold your laughter for the first sentence. Someone asked him why Alonso was left off the bench, and he said that Marcos Alonso is still one of the best left backs in the world. Hold your laughter. But Emerson is doing very well at the moment. I have to use him. Okay, though, mate.
What?
I didn't want to have a left back on the bench.
Has he got a temperature? Is he feeling all right?
Those cigarettes are getting to his head.
He's more topsy-turvy than the British fucking weather. What's going on right now?
Instead of a more attacking player, which is the same situation with Emerson when he doesn't play. It depends on the period of form. It's natural to have 1 or 2 months not at the top. Emerson is doing very well and he deserves his chance. From my perspective, what's that sounding like is Emerson is going to get more minutes, which is very good.
It also sounds like he's trying to be too nice to everybody again.
I think that's a better tack to take though than the past two managers.
Yeah, but he doesn't. Yeah, no, but he doesn't need to talk about Alonso in that conversation. Just say, "I'm just playing well. He's going to keep his place."
True. However, this would make sense if his other comments previously in the season were not tabled.
This is also true. I think Emerson for me, his performance against City in the Cup was unbelievable.
I do apologise. I don't remember too much about the performance apart from getting in the box. When
in that move, he was the one who kind of created the 1-2s and was much more mobile on the left hand side than Marcus Alonso. And in general, he's just a lot quicker and a much better player. That's just it, to be honest. I think the other thing
is quite good.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying his performance is quite forgettable.
It's not forgettable in terms of. It's not forgettable. I just don't remember what he did.
No,
but that's more because other players did stuff that I remember more.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I think it's kind of a case of the fact Emerson was so solid, and he was so solid it almost wasn't talked about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of those cases where he just performed well, did his job, and it went under the radar because that's just how it goes sometimes. And, it was much like Dave was at the beginning of his Chelsea career, Milner throughout his footballing career, and I always use Milner as an example as a massively underrated player. I'm not saying that Emerson's massively underrated. No. I think he's performing to his abilities when he does play. I think that's the truth, the narrow short of it. But I think the big thing for me is that I personally feel that he's the lesser of two evils. He's a better option. But that doesn't change the fact for me that in the summer I think we should definitely change it up. We need the left back, and to be honest, we need a left back, we need a right back, we need a central midfielder, and we need a winger or two if Hazard leaves, and a centre forward. Basically, we need half a new team. Yeah. Which we're not going to do because we're the Chelsea Football Club.
Yeah. Fun times. I think that, to be honest, Emerson's performance was much like Jorginho's in the fact that it went quite under the radar and it was very solid. And similar to, and I think Jorginho was another one that, apart from when he came across and stopped a goal scoring, it wasn't really a goal scoring opportunity because they implies it should have been red cards, but you get what I mean.
But he would have scored.
Yeah.
If he was there.
I think he had David Luiz or Rudiger coming alongside, but I think he was there on the back foot. Anyway, he was another one. He had just a solid performance. Didn't really do a lot, but what he did do was solid. What he was actually, it was the perfect game for him in terms of what he's able to do.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just the way he maintained possession and just offloaded it quickly. I think because the options were there, even if it was going backwards against the Manchester City, you want to retain possession. Against the Tottenham, if you saw the preview, which obviously you just filled in for Lawrence on today, yesterday. Oh God, this is your fault. I think I think it made sense for us to go with the same mentality against Tottenham.
Also, it does help because two of the players out for Tottenham are Dyer and Ali. They're still not back fit, which is quite useful because particularly in the 3-1, Ali was that person, like Ander Herrera against United. Same. One of the two players I really hate. He was that player, actually three players, he was that player that stayed on Jorginho and stopped him being able to distribute the ball quite as well.
Yeah, no, and
so that, hopefully, because they might have Eriksen there, who for me isn't quite that pressing player.
Well, I mean, again, if you check one of the other previews, the opposition preview, they said that when Eriksen dropped deeper, the words on the TV said that when Eriksen dropped deeper against Burnley, he got exposed because he was overrun. I don't think you have the same issue with Chelsea. Yeah. I don't think, I think Burnley are one of the most physical sides of the league. On the other hand, we are very dainty at the minute, I'd say is the pretty correct term. Other than when Jorginho wants to clatter Raheem Sterling.
Or David Luiz wants to go through Bernardo Silva like a nutcase.
Whee! But I think it's kind of a case of, look, more importantly, we've gone off topic, but Emerson, now going to start in place for Chelsea, definitely worthy of it right now. Some of the people have been called for ages.
I know obviously he played 120 minutes, and it all depends on fitness, but for me, he should start on today. Confused. Start today. And then Alonso should probably come against Fulham.
I mean, we'll have to see, but we will move on to the match facts and obviously the general preview for Chelsea versus Tottenham Hotspur next. But we just got to quickly go for a little break because the camera's about to die and we need to switch it over. So yeah, I'll be getting back in like 2 seconds. Bye. Hello. Okay, so now it's time for the general preview of the game. Scott's got some match facts for us ahead of this fixture. So, Mr. Scotty P, would you like to take it away, my friend?
Thank you. So, one of the facts, which is a bit worrying, from a Chelsea perspective is that they've only scored 18 goals in the past 15 games.
Brilliant.
Compared to 27 in the first 11.
Nice.
Which is always good to see. However, on a slightly more positive note, we are unbeaten in all 4 Premier League home games this season against other established top 6 teams, with a win against Arsenal, a win against City and a draw against United and Liverpool. Both of which we probably could have... Actually, no, the Liverpool game we probably could have won. But Tottenham have taken 15 points from 6 London derbies this season, and only Arsenal, with 16 in 8 games, have earned more. 2 other facts I didn't include that I saw about Pochettino is that we are the club he's won most against, but lost the most against. He's won 4 times against us as a manager, and he's lost 8.
Okay. Those mean nothing.
No, I don't like. So the last 2 I'd include as a little bit.
I mean, no, this isn't me taking out on you. You've done really well with those.
No, they are in the grand scheme of things. They are a little bit irrelevant, but they're nice to include because they build the game up.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, in terms of level of confidence, how do you feel about this game?
Mixed, because the game on Sunday brought about 2 things. It showed that we can do it, but we've had other instances of that in the season. But it showed that against the top teams we can put that effort in. The only problem is with us going to extra time, that's 120 minutes that a good majority of that team played.
Yeah.
Plus, as we've discussed before in other videos and whatnot, there's not a lot of depth at the minute.
I mean, we've said this 70 million times.
So I do worry about our fitness levels, particularly against the Tottenham team that we've seen earlier in the season, are a very high pressing team.
Yeah.
Particularly with Kane back, with I can't remember who else they had injured out, but Kane's the main one. And if Son's playing, if Lucas is playing.
Oh my god. I mean, Son's, they said their only injury concern what they've got is Dele Alli and Eric Dyer. So, I mean, but I still mean, without depth, like, if I'm just a spitball here, I was thinking about it then. Lloris, probably, the lads from Wheels up saying
they said
back four.
I imagine it'll probably be a similar sort as what it was. So, Lloris, Trippier, I can imagine, because he's the better of the 2. Actually, Aurier played quite well when he played against us at theirs, but I imagine that Trippier will play. I imagine it'll be Vertonghen and Alderweireld, which is annoying.
Vertonghen and Toby.
Yeah.
And then
Alderweireld's a player I'd love to have at Chelsea. I know injuries have caught up to him a little bit, but he's still quality.
Well, I mean, they've still got that ridiculous buyback clause, or buyout clause of like 30 odd million.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know why no one's looked at it and gone, I'll have some of that.
I can see Sissoko in midfield. I can see Sissoko and Winks, to be honest.
I mean, they said Sissoko and Winks. I mean, you're still looking at that, it's not a bad midfield.
No, particularly with Sissoko has been playing, I don't know how he's been in the last couple of games, but I know early in the season, particularly when they were around when they were facing us, he was good. Eriksen, as I said, Cam, Son on the right. Lucas on the right. Lucas, on the right, Kane up top, or Lamella could come in, but I mean it's Lucas or Lamella, but that's a very good team.
I mean, I think the biggest area of weakness is that right hand side.
I
think because Lucas should be getting a lot further forward a lot more rather than as will Trippier. And I mean at the same time, you've got Hazard going up against
exactly, and I think we've seen from Trippier, we saw the biggest game I think was Wolves. He has the mistake in him. For example, the second penalty the Wolves got when it was 3-2 to Tottenham was a mistake by Trippier, allowing it was something that was really simple, and it allowed Wolves to nearly get back into it.
Yeah.
So I think he has a mistake in him, particularly against one of the best players in the league. I think it is an area of weakness but an area of strength at the same time.
Yeah, 100%. I think the going forward against our back line, that is going to be something which is going to cause a lot of issues. I'm a lot more confident with Emerson at left back.
Yes.
But based, like you said, on the fact that could have played 120 minutes on Sunday, that could be a massive hindrance in this game. But still, it's a Wednesday game. You know what I mean? If it's on a Wednesday, I feel he's probably had 1 day's rest. Actually, no, 1 day rest, 1 day training, plus probably the morning because Sarah likes to train on the day.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. For me, it's a case of Chelsea are so inconsistent this season. I don't know whether or not they're going to turn up, and that's the scary prospect for me because I think that they are. It's something which Chelsea have been very good at this season of beating Manchester City again, for example. I'd love to use that example because it is something where you just sit there and go, what the hell happened in the space of a few days? You beat City 2-0, you then play Leicester and lose 1-0 from quite a direct attack.
Yeah.
It really depends which team turns up, and I really hope Chelsea turn up because, the Chelsea we want to turn up turns up because I don't want Tottenham to be able to say they beat us at the bridge 2 years on the bounce.
No. I don't say they've done a double of us so far in this season.
Well, they didn't do it last year. When was the last time Spurs did the double over us?
That was a stat actually. I think it was 1980 something.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Spurs, they're not going to shut up about it if they don't.
No, if they don't.
Oh my God, Tottenham Hotspur, you're a fucking pain in the arse.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, for me, this game is going to be something which is going to be very interesting, I think is one term to use. Another term would be fucking scary. And another term would be, I'm just pessimistic. The one thing which I think people it annoys me the most about the whole Kepa thing at the weekend, we played so well, no one in the media is talking about it. They're all talking about how he refused to be subbed. And I mean, obviously a lot of that's on him. He tarnished his own image. On the other hand, we need to realise that we are a far better team than we've shown on previous occasions across this season. I'm looking at the examples we showed how good we are were that Burnley game, which we went up to. That was probably one of the best games of the season.
4-0, could have been more. As you said, the City game, Tottenham at home in the Cup comes to mind. What else? Huddersfield, I know it was Huddersfield, but you still got to beat what's in front of you. Games like that.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing, because we have to realise that there is we have to be very, 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 very careful. I'm going in with minimal expectation, because I don't want to build my hopes up high again, much like we did in that Manchester City game and in December, to have it just torn down by Leicester just before Christmas. You know, that for me, that was a kick in the teeth, and I can't have this against Tottenham. But there's a blip last season. It was a bad blip.
Yeah. But
I want us to go out and prove that we can just show it was a blip, because that's the mentality that I have gone into it. And I think, seeing how Sarah reacted on the touchline on multiple occasions in the cup final, you can see he cares.
Yeah, I'd say that game and the Malmo game, he looks a lot more. He looks a lot more, if I can get it as an example, to Conte when he was at us, particularly in the first season.
Yeah.
In terms of maybe not so much outgoing happiness, but in just outgoing passion at the very least.
It's an Italian thing, mate. We're very good at that. We like passion. Passionate at football, passionate at making food, good culture. What?
Nothing, no.
Okay. But yeah, I think it's kind of a case of that. We're very good at that, and Sarri's proven that he is also very good at that. However, the football does need to improve.
It does.
In terms of the system you would play, what would you say? Would you play in a similar vein to the way we played against City?
I'd say so, but everyone's talking about this. I don't remember it being all that different to what we normally play. Personally,
I think it was a lot more defensive, a lot more containing rather than outright attacking.
I think that was more due to the fact we had a false nine, which I don't think he'll play again. I don't think anything else was much different. People are saying, Kanté was playing next to Jorginho. I don't think he was. I think it's just because of how further back we were as a team. It made it seem that way.
Kanté had a lot more freedom. So if Jorginho sitting deeper here, like South, which you guys can't see this, but I'm just proving the point to Scott. No, he was sitting almost on the semicircle of the halfway line a lot, or he was only just pushing into their half. You had Kanté as the box-to-box. Kanté, that was his job that day.
Yeah.
And I think, again, that's something which has been incredibly understated. And I saw someone saying, my review said, I'm surprised he didn't about how Kanté was basically playing as a DM.
He was man on the match. He was incredible.
I think that's the best performance I've ever seen Kanté put in. And that's hard to say, considering how good he was.
I think I've seen a better one.
That or United in Conte's first season.
I can't remember that one, unfortunately.
3-0 or 4-0, whichever one it was. Basically, the Pedro countdown goal.
I still can't remember, unfortunately. I don't have the best memory.
No, you don't remember what happened in there, do you?
Yes, I do.
Chicken strips.
Yes.
Nice.
Very nice.
Big up Beats Burgers. I think it's going to be a similar system. I think Jorginho is going to be there to distribute quite simply around him.
Mm-hmm.
He is literally just an Italian soft Mikel. He is. He's just going to be there just distributing. However, Mikel can tackle as well. Jorginho's proven he can't tackle. He clatters, but he can't tackle. So
he can sometimes, but it has to be
interceptions rather than tackling.
Yeah, so it has to be they're basically coming at him.
Yeah, I think he's definitely a player which is just in terms of retaining the ball probably one of the best in the league.
Yeah.
However, outside of that, I don't think he does much else.
I think then that's a good basis on which to build, but there has to be some build. I think that's the main thing.
He has to adapt, and obviously I think obviously you and I have been very vocal of Jorginho and Sarri this season and how poor they've been on many occasions. But I think Jorginho really needs to put a shift in. I think he had a superb game in the cup final. The penalty was unfortunate, but that was
for me. People going, it's poor. He needs to change it up. Joseph Martinez did it so often. I know it's a bit different, but he did so often in the MLS. Did a very similar technique. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. And he scored the majority of his. It's just it all comes down to whichever way the keeper dives. That's all it is. I mean, if you look at Hazard's technique, I know he changed up a little bit in the cup final, but his is very similar. He couple steps, waits for the keeper moves, then play it.
Yeah.
Same with Balotelli when he used to take them. It's everyone's got their technique. It's what they use. It just all comes down to whichever way the keeper dives.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, obviously, leave thoughts down in the comment section below. We are going to do a predicted lineup later on in the show, so obviously you stay tuned for that bad boy. So the next order of business we want to discuss is Chelsea's chances of the top four. And in terms of this game, I reckon it's safe to say that this is pretty much must win.
I think that a lot of people are talking about us basically becoming the new Arsenal in terms of top four trophy.
Yeah.
However, I don't necessarily think that's because a little bit because we've been playing poorly, but I think that majority of that is because the three teams that are guaranteed to finish above us pretty much are just better than us. I think if you look at Liverpool and City, they're miles ahead of everyone in terms of squads, in terms of where you're playing, everything apart from United, but that's because they've had a poor start to the season. And then Spurs are benefiting from a few quality players. They've got other good players, but a few quality players, and then a really, really quality coach. And yeah, I think as I said, United have just suffered from the start of the season, and it's us or Arsenal in a similar boat.
Well, as it stands in terms of the table, Chelsea will go to fourth if they win by 2 more goals. So we're still in the title race. The top four race, it is a title in itself. If you want to be really depressed, much like I am when it comes to football. But I personally am worried about our lack of form, our inconsistencies, which could cost us. Like you're saying, we've still got to face Wolves. But on top of that, to be fair, Manchester United right now are riddled with injuries. They're dropping like flies against Liverpool.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of a case of it's not bare bones quite, but it's pretty much. Man United.
There's talk of at least 3 youth products coming into their squad against Palace. I forgot they're playing. Palace tomorrow. Today.
Scott, come on, man! You've got to stop that.
Oh no, I couldn't. I couldn't actually remember when it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you look at the injuries they've got, I think that's always a worry for a team. But I think they've got the squad just about to cope with it. If that ended up happening to us or Tottenham, that would be really bad.
That could be season defining. I think, especially with the system that we play, that could be the biggest issue with it. Danny Drinkwater could definitely play the regista. I saw someone say.
Imagine Jorginho and Kante getting injured for the rest of the season.
Marco Van Ginkel and Danny Drinkwater can deputise. Marco Van Ginkel, to be fair, when he was at Chelsea, was an insane player. And then he got that ACL. I really like Marco Van Ginkel. It was disappointing what happened to him. But I think it's kind of a case of, look, these games, well, this one especially is crunch. Obviously, in terms of the stats, Scott's already stated at home, we are undefeated against the top 6 currently. We lost to Spurs last season, losing that 27 or 28 year run where they have not
30.
won. It wasn't 30. It was 28, 20. Okay. It was 27, 28, 29.
Oh no, it's 30 games. That's why.
Yeah, 30 games. And it was really annoying because I still have George Keelia, We're Tottenham TV, expressions banging on about it like it's a trophy. I'm sure they released a DVD.
However, they put pressure on.
Yeah, they did put the pressure on. They definitely applied the pressure to us. But Morata did score against you, so that's my trophy for you lot to realise that was bad for you. But look, I reckon this game is something which is again a must win. Something we have to really be careful with. We have to go into this game with the same mentality we had against Manchester City to ascertain that top 4 position. I think that it's something which we are, which is really important. I think it's kind of a case of we have to be very careful because look, if we lose a couple of games, we could end up looking over our shoulders again. If you see, like you said, we're already playing Wolves.
Yeah.
Wolves.
I say Wolves and Watford they're a few points away.
I didn't realise Watford was so far at the table.
I think they're about 10 points away. But those 10 points can come quite quickly. If you look, Wolves could get a result against United, could get a result against us. I know Watford are then playing United as well. They're at United, so you'd imagine that United will win that, but it all depends. They can start picking up points against, especially against teams lower than them. I know Wolves lost today, but
that was a very
yesterday.
That was an insane result for Huddersfield.
I know.
That was mental.
Was that 18, 19 games?
Yeah, without a win.
Jeez.
And then they win 1-0 in the last minute of the game. If I was a Huddersfield fan right now, I'd be bouncing off the Wolves. That's insane, especially against Wolves. Wolves are an incredibly underrated side.
Wolves are my favourite side in the Prem to watch outside of my own team.
Yeah, they're more City. I quite like watching City. Unfortunately, there's not any shithouse teams to watch anymore, which are really actually Burnley. I'm taking a piss. As much as we love Liam, we don't love watching Burnley. It was quite funny, but they are in terms of form since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's appointment. They're flying as well, which is unreal. But I mean that's something to address another time when we do play Burnley. But look, realistically, there's one more thing I do want to talk about. Having looked at the Premier League table as well as top four, there is one side which I feel are going to be going under the radar a little bit, but they could be pushing for European places as well as us. Leicester City, and I know they're 11th in the league. It is 5-point gap between them and Watford, which is very small. And they've just appointed the beautiful human being that is Brendan Rodgers. We faced him in the last game of the season, so I mean,
at Leicester.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Brendan Rodgers?
I think that he gets a lot more stick than he is maybe due. I think that he probably does deserve some because how can you manage to bottle the league with Liverpool? In the position you're in, with that front two, I might add.
What with Daniel Sturridge and Suarez?
On the form they were in.
Yeah, I mean, just Suarez really carried that team. Sturridge, he chipped in a little bit with his stupid little dance as well, like that.
I kind of like the dance, won't I?
Yeah, but that's why you don't pull in clubs.
No, it's because I'm ugly fuck.
Okay, that's fair enough. Fair enough.
But yeah, I think that people are quick to forget the work he did at Swansea. Swansea, I don't think.
And Chelsea.
Honestly, I forget the work he did at Chelsea. That's only because I don't remember it.
Yeah, he was a youth coach at Chelsea, and he brought in this attacking philosophy, and the team did really well. And obviously, he did go to Swansea, like you say, and then they did that Swansea team was a lovely.
I'd say we're seeing a lot of similarities in that with other managers, like for example, with Howe at Bournemouth overachieving there. With Ranieri to a certain extent, Leicester winning the league there, when for me they're probably not more than a mid-table side.
Only slightly overachieving there, mate. You're saying, slightly overachieving Bournemouth. Leicester when they won the league, it was only a slight overachievement, wasn't it?
Well, they did have. I think if they hadn't had the three quality players that they
had Robert Huth and Wes Morgan as their starting centre backs.
And they looked like world-class centre backs in that season, and it all went wrong the next season.
Yeah.
But yeah, for stuff like that, we've seen it before. I think Watford to a certain extent with the troubles they've had in previous seasons. Wolves to a certain extent with the fact they're only a newly promoted side. I think that kind of goes under the radar with the work he then did at Liverpool, and then the fact that Klopp's come in and has done a better job.
This to be fair, right? Okay, do you want to go through the signings that he made for Liverpool as just examples?
Rodgers?
Yeah. Manquillo, I think he signed for him. He signed Iago Aspas when he was rubbish. Luis Alberto.
Manquillo, who?
Exactly. I think he signed Manquillo. If he didn't, he was there and he was rubbish. I think he signed Alberto Moreno. He also signed Origi.
Yeah.
He also signed Benteke.
Origi was alright.
He also signed Kolo Touré.
Don't diss Kolo Touré.
He's going with him to Leicester, and you know for a fact that Brendan Rodgers, when he had him at Liverpool, when he had him at Celtic, now he's his coach as well. He's going, Kolo, you're a beautiful, beautiful human being. I'm not very good at the Welsh accent, or the Northern Irish accent. Sorry, I want to talk about. Sorry, Brendan. Yeah, it's good. That deluded Brendan Twitter account's going to make a resurgence. I love that account so much. It's gone quiet because it's been in Scotland and he's not been doing anything stupid.
No.
But I mean, obviously Neil Lennon. I thought David Moyes would go for the Celtic job. If you watch him, he'd win a trophy with Celtic. I'm telling you. But I mean,
you say that. I know. Didn't Ronnie Delia win a trophy with Celtic?
He won the league. Yeah. That's the point I'm making. But yeah, I mean, look, To be honest, I don't understand why Brendan Rodgers left Liverpool and then went to.
Oh, he got sacked, didn't he?
No, left Celtic when he could potentially equal the record for league titles won with Celtic, and then on top of that, could have, gone down as a Celtic legend, but pretty much had his pick of the jobs because Celtic is such a big club.
I think it's more.
With the season, there's only 6 games away from England, by the way.
True, is it?
Yeah.
I think it comes down to an article on BBC. Kind of the tagline was put right. I think it's down to ambition more than wanting to succeed. You could argue that's kind of the same thing, but I think that he could have stayed at Celtic and been successful in terms of in that league. But I think that his ambition wants him to go a little bit further. No offence to Celtic, but I don't think the quality of the Scottish League is as good as the Premier League, and so I think he wanted that step back up to where he was. Do
you think he'll do it, Leicester? I think he's got the players to have a lot of flair.
Yeah.
A very good team. James Maddison's going to flourish.
I think if you look when he was at Swansea, you look at the players that came through. You had like some Routledge, Dyer. You had also the spine, the likes of Williams. I forget who else. There was a couple of other players. I think he can do it. I think he's got. You look at the players. Some players have got the likes of Vardy, Maddison, as you mentioned. Tielemans looks really good so far.
For the rest of the season.
True, but who knows? Maybe they could turn that into a permanent deal. And then even going back, Benkovic was on loan at Celtic and has apparently done a quality job. Could try and bring him back early or use him as of next season. So I think they've got the players, and I think that hopefully the Leicester fans should be more satisfied with what they're going to be seeing, because they weren't satisfied with 12. We'll have to wait and see.
I think they want to move on from defensive football, but obviously if you want to see Leicester content and all that, obviously make sure you follow Lee Chappie on Twitter, Leicester Fan TV. There's a lot of there's this young kid as well who's quite good for Leicester, very good for such a young age as well. I forget what the name is, but I know he's half decent. But Lee's obviously our go-to guy in terms of Leicester content. So if you want to go see what he thinks, obviously head across to there. His Twitter's Lee Chappie. He's a Jamie Vardy lookalike. You met Lee, didn't you?
I've never met
Lee. You never met Lee? No, Lee's sound. I love Lee. He's funny. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how Brendan Rodgers does, especially when we come up against him at the end of the season, final game of the season, and with top 4. I have a funny feeling he's going to want to get his own back.
I have a funny feeling they'll win that game.
But he's almost too nice.
I don't think that's
is a beautiful, beautiful human
I don't think
being.
that's necessarily a bad thing. Like we've seen, I think Ranieri, obviously, I know it didn't work for him in the second season, but I think in that season where they won the league, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's got a very similar, looks like he's got a very similar attitude.
Babyface assassin, mate, I wouldn't be sure.
Yeah. Maybe his demeanour behind closed doors is different to his demeanour on camera.
I reckon he makes them run laps and then he throws boots at them from the dressing room.
He's not Neil Warnock, mate.
No, Neil Warnock is one man you would not mess with. Big Neil. Oh, Big Neil was the name of my one of my best friends' dads, who's my football coach when I was growing up. I love Neil. He'd yell from the side. You had Neil, you had Jason. That was a good team. That was a really good team. I never played. I ended up being the assistant manager coming into my last season. I was Steve Bald because I wore the kit and everything and never played.
Jody Morris, mate.
Sometimes. See, I'm not as good as Jody Morris. That's why I said Steve Ball, because we lost the cup final because of a shitty ref. No, I'm being serious, right? This ref, I'm going to go off on one here. Kent FA, you need to sort it out. So, we're in the cup final, right? My best friend was playing the wing or whatever. The ref was really inconsistent. You had, these kids basically, he was shoving the ref, dropping the C-bomb left, right, and centre, calling that. My friend walks away from a referee and is shaking his head, going, "Oh, this is fucking stupid." He sends him off and he doesn't send off the other lot. And then their manager's getting in my face saying, "You should control your players, you should be very careful with this." And I'm kind of stood there going, "You focus on your lot. You're creative." Oh! Sorry, we lost the cup final. We could have done the treble. We went undefeated in the league, won the cup in the winter, and then we got to the cup final, and we lost. Sorry, I'm really annoyed about that. That's
story time, isn't
it? It's a tarnished thing on my record, and I was really proud of that. Me and Jason were a dynamic duo.
Oh.
Love Jason and his big bald head. He was scary though. I remember when I yelled at that guy, he was threatening to send me to the stands, and I didn't want to sit in the stands. But actually, I would have gone. I wouldn't sit to the dressing room. That would not have been fun. Especially after we lost. But yeah, anyway, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with top 4 and with Brendan Rodgers. Obviously, let your thoughts down in the comment section below and what you think about the Kent FA's state of refereeing. Because personally, I'm not very happy. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for your predicted 11, and hopefully this one's not going to go on for 45 minutes.
No.
I'll try to keep it down this time.
Thank you.
But I hope you enjoyed my analysis to prove to people that I actually do know what to talk about football. Because I'm quite good at the tactical side of it. Because I'm fat, and let's be honest, I was never going to play to a decent level. But let's go through it straight, flick it over, page turned. Obviously, because we were talking about it earlier. Who is your keeper?
Kepa. I imagine I imagine it'll be the same team that finished the game on Sunday.
Yeah, I think it should be that team.
So
we're going Kepa.
Emerson. Yeah. I'm going to say Emerson based on his comments in the press conference. And then the rest of the back four is self-explanatory.
Rudiger. David Luiz. And Dave. Midfield, we're going to go for that one man in the pivot, aren't we?
Obviously.
Deep line inverted pivot with George. And then you're going to go...
Kante, obviously. If he doesn't play... yeah.
Kante. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I'm sorry, if he does not start, that is a travesty. That is a travesty.
He played he played 70 minutes versus Malmo. Played 100... no. How long did he play against... Thingy?
Against City?
Yeah.
He came off at like the 80th minute or something stupid.
Yeah, he's got to play.
Yeah.
And then same with Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah. He should...
Particularly as it was Spurs, the comments that Sarri made after in that press conference.
Do you think he will though? Because I mean, the team we've got on paper is Kepa, Dave, Luiz, Rudiger, Emerson, Jorginho, Kante, Loftus-Cheek, Cho, Wiguain and Hazard.
I think so. I think if you look at the Burnley game, I can't remember too much about it, apart from the Tottenham loss. But I think that, and the Tottenham team, we are Tottenham TV boys said this, that the fullbacks are quite poor at the minute for them. So I think that could be somewhere we can explore, and I think to do that, Hudson-Odoi's got.
Yeah, well, he'll have that directness on that side again. We'll talk about it again. Hazard, free roam cut in. Loftus-Cheek again. He in that City game. People keep showing it because he was that good.
That's
Scooter.
spin. Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm having flashbacks.
Yeah. The way he's got 4 players, his skillfulness, his strength on the ball. I think it's amazing. He should start. But what worries me is his back injury. He should be our first choice, but I think the reason he's not held it down is because of that injury.
Yeah. I think he's still got to play though. I think there comes a certain point you have to play him just because you run the risk if you constantly play the other two.
Yeah.
That they'll develop an injury as well, and then you're screwed.
Yeah.
You're in a situation similar to what United are in, where they have got a mountain of injuries, as we said, and a lot of them seem to be in the same position.
Lol. It was funny, Lingard went off with an injury after coming on.
And Rashford had to be injured the whole game. Literally, I think 80 minutes he was injured for.
Jesus. You saw the face of it. Like,
well, he wanted to come off. He made the
yeah.
indication to come off, and they put Pereira on Pereira because he went down injured.
So you had Solskjaer just look going, oh my god.
Hello,
Donna Smile Friend playing on repeat in his head. Oh dear.
Yeah, I think that's got to be the team just because our options are lacking in terms of quality from everyone else. Obviously, we mentioned Zach Costa, we mentioned Alonso. I don't see making a change to centre back because why would he? Because it's an important league game.
I think it's kind of a case of you just need to see. Dave again. We've already discussed. That is a position that is a liability because when he gets forward in that space, if you're going to have Heung-min Son bumming down this side here, that is going to be a massive issue because Son will exploit the space on our right hand side, and I'm not going to lie. David Luiz is normally playing on the left hand side, isn't he?
Yes.
So if you'd sort of I'll not be as worried with Rudiger on this side. I think he's good at maintaining spaces. Jorginho will be covering left and right. I think he'll be doing a similar job to what he did against City, 100%. And look, I think Kante is going to be again up and down. When Jorginho, for example, may be covering our left-hand side, he'll be covering this space here. And then Loftus-Cheek will. What I noticed when we went defensive in the game against City, we almost dropped to 5 midfield.
Yeah, we did.
You had the 4 and you had
Willian and Pedro. Yeah, no, Willian Hazard. Sorry, dropping quite deep.
That was Willian and Pedro, I swear.
Oh yeah, it was because Hazard was still playing. Willian and Pedro dropping, playing almost like left and right mids.
Do you think the same? Do you think Hazard did the same?
No, I just don't think it's his game personally.
I personally think what will happen is it'll be Loftus-Cheek would almost move out wide,
and then we ended up seeing that quite a bit in the when he came on. We ended up seeing that a little bit where Hazard almost dropped in behind Higuain, and Loftus-Cheek went out on that left, and it kind of worked.
Yeah, I think the intricacies. Is
Intriguing.
No, intricacies like intricacy. Is it the intricacy of the way that Loftus-Cheek manipulates the ball along with his size is definitely a massive factor. If you're going up against Trippier, I'd back Loftus-Cheek in that battle. You know what I mean? Am I boring you?
No.
I don't know. Yeah, he's a late night. We pull the shifts here at home at Chelsea. We're doing uni work all day, so we had to fill in this old spot. But yeah, I mean, I think that should be the start of it. If Kovacic starts, I think you lose that ability to be able to play that system. And again, we've already agreed that maybe extending his loan is probably not the wisest.
Possible.
And not so nice as I'm buying him. Barkley, on the other hand, I just think meh. He was a low risk transfer, but he's definitely not someone who I would consider.
He's going to those games you have to outplay your opponent, but in a game like this,
you need to outplay your opponent.
Yeah, and I don't think he's good enough for that.
You need to shift the ball, and I think
even against Malmo, to be fair, he was poor.
But I mean, this left hand side that we've got, Emerson, Loftus-Cheek, Hazard, just that triangle almost in terms of possession was so pivotal against Man City in that move for Pedro as well. Loftus-Cheek wasn't playing. I think it was Barkley that came in and dropped in to do that job. But still, I think Loftus-Cheek will make it all that much better. And obviously, the thing is, Spurs are going to have Loftus-Cheek to worry about on that left-hand side of theirs, while we are basically trying to stop shaking your leg, trying to maintain the ball. I think Tottenham are a team that like to press.
Yep.
And why we're going to be spending too much time trying to challenge the press rather than just lump it sometimes, or just try and control and maintain. Well, we're going to try and control and maintain possession, which is the mistake we made against them in the reverse fixture. So for me, it's kind of a case of we just need to be very, very, very careful. Very careful indeed. I am not completely sold on the. It's clear we're lacking players. We've already agreed other fullbacks are required. I think we need to find cover for Loftus-Cheek that is viable, and then obviously try tie Callum Hudson-Odoi down to a long-term deal, and Higuain we decide whether he's going to stay or not. But I mean, what do you think?
I think he should stay for a year. More because I feel like there's other positions we need to improve first. I feel in terms of order, fullbacks are the first priority for me.
Jadon Silva? Jadon Silva and Emerson, I don't think are bad options.
No, I just wonder whether he very well might be, but I wonder with a lack of Premier League action whether he is able to step up to do that step up, because we've seen from a few other players they haven't been able to. I think right back we need, as I said, and I think that other centre mid spot. I think Loftus-Cheek's good, but I think injury concerns are a problem, and I also think there are probably, depending on how much money we're willing to spend, a few better options out there. One annoyingly comes to my place of the other team.
Lol.
I'd love to have him, to be fair. Eriksen. I would love to have Eriksen.
I'd like Eriksen. They only signed him for like some. I think it was either 8 or 17 million from Ajax. Literally peanuts. But no, we have to go for the names, marketing purposes. Christian Pulisic, after what I saw him do against Tottenham, I am not filled with confidence when he arrives. But he's a young lad.
Yeah.
Got to support him through it. But look, listen, we'll go through the lineup one more time. Kepa in goal, Dave, Luiz, Rudiger, Emerson, Jorginho, Kante, Loftus-Cheek, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Higuain and Hazard. We feel that should be the lineup. Obviously, it was the lineup that ended the Carabao Cup final. So leave your thoughts down below what you think about that. And finally, just to finish it up, Mr. Page, please give me, or Scott Brian Page, Brian, please give me a score prediction.
I'm going to go 1-1, I think. I can, especially with how long we played on Sunday, I feel like trying to go out there and basically outrun Tottenham's going to be nigh on impossible. So I feel like getting a draw is not the worst result. It doesn't really do anything for us. I don't think it might move us up to a position.
Yeah, but no, it's nothing major.
No.
Yeah, no, look, I'm not going to call this one because again, 120 minutes of football can take its toll, especially for like Kante, Jorginho. But basically, that back four.
The back four's a bit I'm worried about.
I think other than Loftus-Cheek, Higuain, Hudson-Odoi, everyone else is going to be feeling a bit. I think Pedro's definitely going to be seeing some minutes. Willian, I don't want to be seeing any minutes because of his reaction to Pep after the game. People would say it's only a little thing, but you've just lost a cup final. Like, maybe I was just polite and just smiling. Yeah, mate, come on. Let's go, yeah, cool, whatever, move on. You don't need to have a little laugh and a grin. If it was just a little laugh or a little smile to make him happy, it wouldn't be for such a sustained period of time. But yeah, anyway, listen guys, that is it. I'm going to call it. Scott's giving you his prediction. And that is it for your match build-up show on 100% Chelsea. Also, make sure you let us know all your thoughts down in the comments section below. Brendan Rodgers, top 4. What do you think about Kepa? What do you think about Emerson? And everything else we have discussed in this preview. And yeah, take care of yourselves. We will see you at Chelsea vs Tottenham at an 8 PM kickoff. And we are as excited as you are. But I know, guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow Scott, follow me, and I'll see you later. Ta-ra.